Right. So we should probably do like introduction, shouldn't we?
I mean, I guess so.
It's probably like the thing normal people would do.
Yeah, I'm not really a normal person, so I don't know what normal people do. Um, Hi, my name is Chris Payne. Oh. I don't know. I don't know who I am. I'm having an existential crisis 10 seconds in.
Maybe
I,
like explain something about your job or your degree that you graduated from recently.
um, well, my unpaid job is professional abuser,
And
um,
comedian.
and comedian in the sense that I will attack any one of my friends willingly. Um,
We love it.
Even without prompting, I'll just go for it. Um, my paid job is timetabling trains. Um, and my degree was unrelated to that because I did politics, policy, and economics. But
It might
as it
come in
turned
handy
out,
though.
well, it might do. I mean, I realized that I don't. Economists are boring. Politicians lie, and policy takes too long. Um, so fuck that. Um, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to live.
How was that? Yeah,
Fuck
well, that's good.
everything.
That's how I like to start this podcast.
Well, the thing is, you out of the two of us had the more like employable degree by far. So
And it did what after 100 rejections, I finally got there. So,
and now you can live at home for another 10 years.
now I get to live back at home. The beauty. I get to own a car, which costs me money on a regular basis. It's all good.
Imagine that. Imagine actually
that.
adulting.
I can't. Katrina Preston,
Oh
why
dear.
why don't you tell me this about yourself?
So I'm a failing musician and have mental health issues because of the failing musician.
Good, good.
No, so I graduated from my undergrad for music, and now I'm doing a master's because the pandemic kind of made it impossible to get a job. So I did a little bit of lying and said I was really enthusiastic about doing a master's, which kind of worked out because a lot of my year group have struggled to get jobs or are in jobs that they are not happy about, and I'm actually doing something I'm interested in. So hey ho, worked out for the best.
Can I be clear? I'm in a job that I do like. I do like my
Yeah.
job. I just want to get that one out there now.
Yeah, you're like my
Jesus.
employers, please.
I do have some thoughts about my employers, but we might come back to that later.
Right. Oh, that's saucy.
Mm-hmm.
Gets fired after the first podcast.
Oh, that's it. It's all over. I've ruined it.
So we haven't really named this podcast or structured it. We've got an idea of what we're gonna do for this one, but we don't know what, like, if there's gonna be reoccurring themes or what really. We're just chatting shite, really.
I mean, I did have a couple of names that I want. I mean, as I told you yesterday, I don't really have any names that are good. However, I do have some names which are terrible.
Right.
So welcome to the reject list.
Oh dear.
So number one was just unnamed. You can tell that I was really on a roll there. Then there's we didn't
Original.
bother with a name.
Yep.
Failing millennials,
Yes.
strawberry swing,
Oh.
and my favorite one. Okay, the context here is that I wanted to find something which, it represented our friendship, something that would mean something to the two of us. But I was half asleep when I wrote it down. So this one was She Kills Herself. Now, I need it noted down that this has nothing to do.
I'm dead. I'm alive, but I'm dead.
I couldn't, I just thought, we were both a big fan of
That song.
Final Clearance whilst growing up. Final Clearance being a
Shout
great
out.
band. Go check out. And I seem to remember that song coming up more than once. And so I just was like, oh yeah, I'll type that down. And then when I woke up in the morning, I looked at it and went, oh my God. No, not that.
I think
So
it's
that's the
when we were,
reject
like,
list.
18, 19, and we suddenly realised that our humour was actually just a sign of us both being mentally unstable.
I think it really should have served as an early sign that the depression and the anxiety were there. They were clear and on display for everyone to see, apart from me, who's just like, nah, it's fine. It's just a bit sad, isn't it?
The thing is, though, like, we always just called you, like, the depressive one, and then you got diagnosed with depression, so now it just looks like bullying.
I won't lie to you. That was the thought that went through my mind. One of the first thoughts that went through my mind after I'd been to the doctor was, ah, damn it, I've lived up to everyone's expectations. How do I? I was like, how do I lie about this? Can I pretend it's not the case? Hint, you cannot pretend it's not the case.
I bet your mum blames it on the Coldplay.
Um, I don't know. Maybe I'll ask her. I blame it on. I think they have to. They are one of my favorite bands, but I think I have to blame some of it on them.
Oh, hang on a minute. One of your favourite bands?
I'm trying to save face with like people generally because I'll just be attacked if I say I love Coldplay, they're my favorite band. People are gonna come for me and hurt me. I don't want that.
Yeah, one of my lecturers is a massive Muse fan and absolutely hates Coldplay and literally shits all over them. And so every time, every opportunity, I'm like, give a musical reference from like Coldplay.
Beautiful.
It's just unfair, isn't it? This is like a mini topic within itself. Like, Coldplay get unnecessary hate. Like, what bands do you know that are still going, have got that many albums? And
I don't get it. Like, the biggest thing that people seem to have against them is that apparently they're boring. I mean, I disagree with this. I want to get that one out there now.
Like,
obviously,
every album is different. Like, you can't.
But like, they're no more boring than any other. Like, there are plenty of bands which have survived, which are just as dull. If we're going for that one.
Yeah.
And I'm about to make everyone who grew up in the 2010s very angry if I start naming bands that I think are in the same category. So,
well, I'm gonna make a shout here and say, if you like U2 and hate Coldplay, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
Oh god, I just look. If you don't like Coldplay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care. There's definitely music out there for you. But there's one thing you don't have to do. You don't have to tell me you hate them. You can keep that to yourself.
Like,
you can just keep that to yourself. It's fun facts. It's like how I keep to myself the fact that I think you're an absolute idiot. We keep things to ourselves to make everyone happy, and you can do that too.
Oh dear. This is
strong start.
This is gonna be
half the audience just went, fuck this, I'm not staying around.
It goes on about Coldplay for 15 minutes.
Jesus. Fine, I'm done. It's over.
Okay, right. So should we start the first section, let's say?
Let's do it. The first section of the first podcast.
Yeah. Oh, saucy. So did we say we were going to do unpopular opinions first, or?
We did.
Yes,
we did.
Good. So Chris has decided to not go through them, so he will have his genuine reaction for you guys. That wasn't English. Oh well, we'll go with that.
That's close enough.
What I meant.
Close enough. Close enough.
Okay, so the first one I received was, if you were born in interwar Germany, you would have been a Nazi too.
Oh Christ! Right. Okay.
I see the point.
Is this from the I'm not going to name them.
Yes.
But is this? Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, the thing is, he's probably not wrong.
No, that's the thing. But you don't want to be like, oh yeah, he's definitely right. I definitely would have been a Nazi.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would have been one by choice. I think that suggests that if you were there, like, yeah, let's get him with these guys. I mean. Yeah. Obviously no one was like that, but it was a pretty shit time to be alive, Yeah. Like, you just been screwed over by the winners of this war that you didn't even want to be in the first place. Now everything's been ruined, and then this guy turns up and tells you it's going to be okay and everything's going to be fine. You just have to vote for him. Like, if you were that desperate in that situation, you'd lost everything. You'd lost your house, all your money. like you've been through massive hyperinflation. I can see how you would end up voting for that guy. I mean,
Exactly. I mean, people
yeah.
voted for Trump. Like,
I mean, I was literally going to say the same. It's not like it's a different situation, but imagine being so convinced that there's no like other option that you end up voting for a reality TV star who's been bankrupt several times and wears horrible amounts of fake tan and a wig. Like, it's a bit dumb normally, but I can see how in a desperate situation this guy pops up and goes, "Just vote for me and it will all be fine." You can just jump on that and then join in when you go and riot and invade the capital.
I don't think I have anything to add to that. That was a pretty agreeable and solid answer there.
I think I have some agreeable opinions, to be honest.
Just a few.
Just good like that.
Okay, so I'll go on to the next one, which is God has killed more people than the devil, reference the Bible.
God has killed more people than the devil.
Yeah, apparently.
I'd like some numbers on this. I think this is I feel like in a post-truth society that we live in. Shout out to my dissertation. I feel like I need numbers. So you know what? I refuse to tackle this until I've got some concrete data on the number of people killed by God versus the devil, and then I'll tackle this topic.
And I don't think I think the wording is probably the issue, because God has killed more people than the devil. That's like he's actively going along like, bruh, gonna shank you now, bruv.
Yeah, it's a risky road to go down. Not, again, it's one of those things you might want to keep to yourself. The idea that you think God is a serial killer. I think there are people out there who might disagree with you if you go, you think God is, do you think he's a psychopath? Just don't, okay? Keep that one to yourself. That's an inside thought.
I think the other thing is
we'll be fine.
It's coming from somebody who is an atheist, which is like immediately biased, isn't it? Really.
I mean, it's a risky, like, regardless of anyone's like views. Like, come on now, just keep it to yourself. Make friends. I know I've spent the last 15 minutes insulting people, but
Be nice.
be nice. Come on.
Okay, so do you want like a light one, or do you want to go for another heavy topic one?
Oh, let's have a light one. Let's break it up a bit.
Okay, ketchup goes well with pasta.
Sorry, that really threw me. I've not. So, what? Just pasta and ketchup?
Plain pasta. Like, I remember when I was a kid, I think my mum, yeah, that sounds about right. She made me like pasta, peas, and cheese, and it was very plain, so I would have ketchup with it. But now I'm an adult, I just put chopped tomatoes in the pasta.
I don't see why you'd have ketchup when you can have just you can make yourself a pasta sauce relatively easily.
Yeah.
That, like, I can imagine it would taste fine because it's tomatoes and pasta. Like, it's
the
pretty
same,
commonly accepted. It's nice. I just don't understand why you'd be like, yeah, I'll tip a bottle of ketchup over this. It just seems like a weird choice,
Yeah.
I mean, each to their own, but maybe reevaluate your life choices.
Definitely. That just reminded me, actually, Piers had never had pesto before I met him, and I thought that was really weird. None of his family had ever had pesto.
Ever?
Like, ever. I literally introduced pesto to his 67-year-old mother the other day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't really understand why, because it's not even like a like, there are some things I've never eaten because it's not like easily affordable, or like it's just too much for me. But pesto is relatively cheap and like
It's like a staple for me.
yeah, it's a cupboard basic, right? Like,
Yeah, completely.
that's very weird.
And another opinion he's given me, and he's posted on this. Piers, this is my partner. He put
Your partner?
in my fiance. Okay.
Live congratulations to you, of course. I'd like to
Whoop, whoop.
just have that one down.
Lol. The fact we haven't even seen each other in over a year now.
Yeah.
But,
10 out of 10. Thanks, COVID.
Solid. But yeah, so he's put cucumber is not human food.
So who is it food for?
I don't know. He just doesn't like cucumber. He's freaked out by it.
He's freaked out by it.
Yeah, he said it tastes bad. I was like, it's literally doesn't
Taste
taste of
of
anything.
It's like, just, it's mainly water.
Yeah,
like
it is like 70% water or maybe more. Like,
I mean, to be fair, I don't hate it. I dislike watermelon
ooh.
for a similar reason. It's just water. Like if I want water,
Yeah.
I can just drink a glass of water. I don't want the hassle of having fruit now just holding water for me. It's not for me. But I wouldn't then go and argue that watermelon isn't human food.
We're just shooting him down on this one. Pierce, you're
Oh,
wrong.
I love him. I want that noted down. If you weren't engaged to him, I'd be trying to seduce him. I honestly.
Oi, oi.
But, Mr. Steal Your Man, steal anyone. If anyone has a partner that he wants stolen, I'll give it a try. Just a little advertisement there. Hashtag painfully single. But
Painfully single.
You see what I did there? You see what I did there?
You can't move past that. Painfully.
I am spelling it like my name.
Yeah, good.
It is. I want that noted down. That's very much in the forefront of my mind.
Oh.
I can imagine having a T-shirt that says that and seeing how I get no response whatsoever. I've completely lost my train of thought. I was so happy with that line. I really just forgot what I was saying. Oh no. Yeah, I can't get on board with this opinion.
No.
Sorry.
Okay.
Much love.
We will go into a more serious one again. This one is gonna spark some opinions. Okay, this pandemic is necessary population culling, both environmentally but most importantly economically.
All right. Okay.
I feel
Hello.
bad laughing, but it's mostly out of awkwardness saying that.
Oh, the thing is, I know the person who said it just said it because I feel like he enjoys triggering you.
Oh yeah.
So I can see where this has come from. I mean, we can't be saying this. We can't. However,
Oh no.
I'm gonna get cancelled. I'm gonna get cancelled. No, it's not necessary. Because obviously, I mean, we're at 80,000 deaths now, and a good chunk of those people are people who, definitely didn't deserve to die. I mean, the majority, let's say all of them. No one deserves to die from this. It's a really horrible, horrible disease.
Yeah.
And I think it's really shameful that 80,000 people have died and we still haven't got a handle on it.
Yeah.
I find it really depressing. I mean, I'm angry at the moment because there are so many people who are really skeptical about the vaccine to the point where they're like, I'm not going to get it because it's going to inject me with a 5G chip and I'm going to become a mobile phone human being thing. And it's like, you'd rather die. I mean, if you're telling me there's a 5G chip in there, inject into me because I'll probably get better phone signal from now on. Fuck's sake. I mean, my phone is awful. I've had no signal in my room for weeks. So, you know what? Inject me with the chip and I'll feel great about it. And if having a chip in my arm was the price to pay for being alive, I'll take it. But also, there's no chip in there. Stop being stupid. You absolute dumbasses. I just cannot. Like, look, again, I'm down for the I can't express this enough. If you're telling me that there's a way that I can plug myself into my computer and fix some of the problems that go on with me, this is brilliant. This is a solution to all of my problems. I could just run a diagnostics on myself and be like, oh, yeah, your leg is broken. Sure, we'll just get you a new leg. And I'll be like, oh, thanks. And if I'm paying lots of money, I can get one that's color matched to me. And if I'm not spending much money, it can be just a leg. Same, any size, any color, I don't care. So I'm down for it. Basically, I'm not scared of any of these conspiracy theories. I'm embracing them. I think we should get on board. It sounds like it's quite fun. It's fun for all the family. Embrace the chip, embrace everything, take the vaccine, get it inside you, and then we can all get back to doing other shit that is a waste of time.
Instead of get it done, get it inside you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like to imagine that one day thousands of people will listen to me saying the words "get it inside you," much like my first stream on Twitch.
Oh yeah.
In which I'm fairly sure I ended up saying "get inside me" probably like 10 times. I got stuck in a loop. It was my sister came in and was like, "Why did you just keep saying it?" I was like, well, I didn't. I was so awkward and so anxious that I just got stuck in a cycle.
Oh dear. It's just the fact your sister, I can imagine her like coming in from next door being like,
so disappointed.
seriously?
Honestly, so disappointed.
Seriously.
She gave me this. She does this. She gives me this look, and it's just like you can see in that moment that you're just such a disappointment to her.
Oh yeah, she's 18 now, isn't she?
She just turned 18.
I was gonna message her. I completely forgot. Wow, that's crazy. That's aging.
It's quite distressing for me,
She's
because then I sat down and realized that I've had to buy people birthday cards to say, "Happy birthday, you're 22," and I'm like, "Oh, all right. Well, that's cool.
yeah.
I mean, I realize that everyone has these moments where they're like, "Oh my God, I'm growing up," but I still feel about 6.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm going to be 22 soon is like, I don't want this.
It is weird because it's like, okay, now you're well into adulthood. Like you can't
Mhm.
you can't do anything wrong now. If we were like famous YouTubers, they wouldn't be like, oh yeah, they're young. They'd be like, they're 22 years old now. Like, hold them accountable.
If I made a video saying the pandemic is useful for killing off people, I would be cancelled, and rightly so.
Oh
Can
yeah.
I just make clear, I don't want people to die. I mean, I have a lot of anger towards humanity, but I don't actually want anyone to die. My grandma died in July, the end of July. Not from COVID. She was just very old, and her body had basically stopped working. But I didn't get to see her
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
for
It's
months.
not necessarily about if they've died from COVID. It's more the fact you've then missed, like,
Yeah, I didn't get to. The last time I saw her was in March last year.
wow.
Um, and I didn't get to see her then right through until she died, which is really horrible to think
Yeah.
about. It's like I didn't realize that would be the last time I'd be seeing her.
No,
It's
of
crazy.
course not.
But that's what I mean. It's one of those things where it's like that's quite sad, and I can't imagine losing someone to COVID as well. I'm luckily haven't had anyone that close to me who's died from COVID.
Yeah.
But God, that must be hell.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think Pierce actually made a good point last night and said that people have sort of become desensitized to it, so they've stopped caring. And like there was this trend going on TikTok where it was like basically I don't give a fuck, I'm doing what I want now, like the government are so stupid, they don't know what they're doing, so why should I listen to them? Which is, I kind of get it because obviously the government has fucked up and has made bad decisions, but at the same time, like, common sense tells you that if you ignore your common sense, then we're gonna be in this situation for a lot longer.
Yeah, like the government have definitely made a mess of this. I have a lot of anger towards them, but just because the government have proven to be useless at something doesn't mean that I should stop caring. And, this is still a bad situation. The only way that people are going to stop dying from it is if people take it seriously,
Yeah.
actually don't take unnecessary risks, don't meet up with people because you want to and you feel like you can't live any other way. I haven't seen you for, did we work out it's over a year now?
13 months now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really sad for me because I love seeing you. I love seeing all of my friends, obviously, and
Yeah.
it hurts that I can't see them.
Yeah.
But I've accepted that that's the price I pay to keep the people around me and the people I love safe. So if you're one of the people who sits there and thinks, I just don't care anymore, I just want to go and do what I want, I think you've really got to consider what the hell is wrong with you
And
and
it's not
where's
just
your
you.
humanity.
Yeah, it's other people.
You gotta, you can't just be selfish all the time. Sometimes you have to pay a small price for long-term goodness, and in this case it's the long-term health of society versus you wanting to go and get drunk.
Yep.
Like, if that's what you really care about, you care more about getting drunk, maybe just sit down with yourself and think about whether you want to carry on being this kind of person.
Well, this is my problem with like all the kids who've gone back to uni. I say kids.
Oh god, we're so old. Oh my god.
Oh god, it's when I think of first years, I'm like, oh, they're just kids.
Oh, they're so innocent.
Yeah. So, but when I think of them going back, you know, I've seen people who are in first year at the moment. Even the older ones, and they're all still partying. Even if they're in like student accommodation, they're mixing with the flats above them and the flats below them, and they're just like, the only thing I would say is at least they're all young, and I would assume that if they had somebody vulnerable in their flat, the only issue, yeah, but that's still like they could be spreading it to people outside of their household as well.
I think that's the thing is that it would be one thing to have a party and then all of you make sure not to mix with anyone outside that situation. But I don't believe that that is the case because most people do need to do things like, oh, I'm out of bread. Okay, I need to go to the shop.
Yeah,
So you'll go into the shop and inevitably you're going to be standing just slightly too close to people. Like, there's been stories about people who has followed all of the
yeah, and
rules,
then they
all of the
go food
restrictions, and
shopping.
still got COVID.
Yeah,
So you can unknowingly then spread it to people, and then you're just passing on, and you might not show any symptoms. You might be like, I know that young people are not showing as many symptoms. That doesn't mean they haven't got it.
no,
They're like silent carriers. It's the worst possible thing because they're just carrying it around to people, giving it to them, never actually having it themselves, thinking, "Oh, I'm great, I'm fine," and you've potentially started a whole other chain there. It's just not. You've really got to think about whether it's worth it or not. I mean, I'm feel bad. I feel like I'm taking over this whole thing. So just
oh,
shoot me down at some
well,
point.
the
But
only thing I would say is with the like economy side, if we go back to the original unpopular opinion statement about the economy stuff, that it's done is made businesses like Amazon thrive and
Mhm.
completely destroy all this. And we both use Amazon Prime, like
Yeah,
you can't help it. I mean, well, you could. I don't know. You probably could help it, but at the same time, like, why would you pay more money for something to take longer to get here? Like,
that is the truth. That is truth. And I feel like, to be fair, it's weird. Recently, I found that, so over the last year or so, maybe a couple of years, that actually Amazon aren't the cheapest anymore. It's really weird.
yeah,
Amazon have ended up not being as cheap. So I've been able to actually, you know, because I don't, I'm not a rich man. I don't have the ability to always shop um entirely ethically, which, if I was being a good person, I would never shop with Amazon because they're just killing everything off.
yeah,
Um, but I haven't always had that luxury. It increasingly seems to be the case that I can go to some independent shop online, find exactly what I want at a much cheaper price with delivery, which is actually as fast as Amazon are offering.
yeah,
It's like, oh, well, screw you, Amazon. I'm out.
yeah,
But yeah, on the whole, it, it is the case that Amazon have got richer and richer and richer in this whole thing, and lots of businesses have not been able to carry on, which is really sad.
Yeah, definitely. Oh.
And I think one thing, so I said earlier about having a thought about work, which I is going to
Oh.
get me killed. No, I mean, it won't get me killed. Um, so last week, yeah, we this time last week. It was just before I went back to work. The plan had been that I would go back to working in the office
Oh, okay.
because I just changed teams and it was easier for me to do what I need to do in the office, which is all fine. And then obviously over Christmas, there's been that massive rise in cases and deaths and things.
Yeah, so
And so I didn't really think it was responsible to be inside the office working if
well,
I
yeah.
didn't absolutely have to be. If there was no other way, of course, I would have to go into the office. But I had a feeling that we could work something out. So I didn't go in Monday morning. I just started up my laptop as usual and went, oh, I'm not in the office today. I imagine that would be where it was going. Um, and so I got this message back going, oh, well, we think it's still safe enough for you to go into the office if you want. So, should you go? Do you want to go in from tomorrow? And I was like, uh, right, okay, because like we're in a what was a tier 4 area. Like
Now tier
we had
5.
some of the highest number of cases in the area. It's pretty bad. The hospital are like saying they're full of people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to do this. I'm like, well, we'll see how we go. And then Monday night, Boris announced that we're all going back into a full lockdown because things are so
right,
bad.
just before. Yeah.
I woke up the next day and I was like, I'm not even going to give them the choice anymore. So I literally wrote a message and said, I'm not coming in. Like, there has to be a way I can do what I need to do from home. If there absolutely isn't, I'll go into the office, but that's absolutely my last resort here. And long story short, it turns out that I can do things from home.
Well, yeah.
It
I'm
means
not.
that there's small changes to what we're doing, and it possibly adds a few days to the project time. But it's like, okay, it's a few days on the end of a project compared to me potentially getting ill.
Yeah.
I know which one I'd rather have.
Well, the other thing is, like, at your office, I'm presuming you have, like, what, double monitor and computer and that sort of your desk, that's it.
Yeah, it's a triple. You have a triple monitor
Oh, triple.
kind of setup.
Oh, saucy.
I know, spicy. And a desktop, but it's not really. It doesn't really need to be that way anymore. There's a lot of stuff that we can do remotely, and I can connect to that machine if I need to remotely, and a lot of the software we use is cloud based anyway.
Right.
So it's like I don't need to be there to do this. I have managed to do several projects at home already with remote access, and people have replied and they've been really happy with the output. So I'm clearly doing fine as it is working from home. It's not ideal, but we're working it out as everyone else is, and I don't think it's holding me back. So I'd be quite happy with staying at home until this is all over, no matter how long that takes, because even though I'd love to actually meet my team in person, we're all alive this way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, completely agree. I mean, that's why. So I wasn't going to uni. So uni for me is based in Oxford, but I live in Bedfordshire. And I was like, I'm not going to go, into a completely different county and be in a room. It was a nightmare when we were at uni because the music department is in the basement and it's freezing cold in there. So like they had no heating for like winter for some reason. They were changing the boiler or something, I don't know. But because of COVID, we had to have all the windows and doors open. So we all sat there in like coats, fluffy socks. I literally brought like a blanket in 1 week.
How are you meant to learn in that kind of environment?
Literally. So when I was like, look, I'm not being funny, the numbers have gone up. I'm not just responsible for myself, I'm responsible for my partner and his parents who are pensioners. So, it's like it's an obvious decision for me to do it from home. And obviously with music, it could be tricky to do stuff from home, but thankfully I've got enough of a setup here that it doesn't affect me too much. So it would be nice to see my peers, same as like you with being able to see your colleagues, but at the same time it's not necessary for me to get my qualifications, so I'd rather be safe.
I think the thing is, if there are people like us who can do what we need to do remotely,
Yeah.
then that means that the people who don't have any choice and have to go in, they can do that and also themselves feel safer because there's less people around.
Yeah.
So, like, we're it's beneficial to all of us.
Exactly.
And I am, yeah. But I mean, your uni was really. I remember you sent me the message. It was a little while ago, maybe before Christmas, of their like COVID guidance or whatever, because
Oh yeah.
Oxford and Bedfordshire are in different tiers,
Yeah.
and their message was the most useless pile of rubbish I've ever
I
seen because
actually
it was said one thing and
Yeah.
then started saying something completely different.
So for context. Oh bloody hell!
English, we can't do it.
Can't
Sorry.
do it. I asked Chris if he could read over an email because I was like, "What the hell does this mean?" And like he just said, it literally said one thing, and then at the end, one thing suggested that I could go in and act like normal and everything was fine. And then the next thing was saying the complete opposite, saying if you're in a tier 4 area, you should not leave your tier 4 area, or whatever it was. Did we even have tiers 4 then?
It wasn't. I think we only had the 3.
We had
I
3.
can't remember.
Yeah.
Oxford was in a
Tier 2
was it in
and
a,
was it tier 2 and Bedfordshire was tier 3.
I think so. Or the other way around. Whatever it was definitely a difference.
Yeah.
And it definitely didn't make sense to advise that you should go between the 2 areas.
No. And yeah, I don't know. Thankfully, my lecturers are really supportive and they're just like, well, one of them is from Italy and she actually has had to go back home. For I think her family and stuff have had COVID and it's been really hard for them. So they're really good with letting us know about, being flexible to each person. I mean, there's only a handful of us on the course, which makes it easier. But yeah, should we move on to the next section then? Because I don't.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, there's still loads more. I mean, we can use. We can
come back to them.
Yeah, we can come back to them because there's quite a few good ones, and there's enough to do a whole another 40-minute section on all of those. So
beautiful. See, we've created ourselves content right there.
Brilliant.
We now have 2 episodes ready, basically.
Sorted.
Nailed it.
Right, so I'm going to get the playlist up and let's just hope music doesn't blare through my headphones because I'll cry.
Jesus Christ.
I've done that in a lecture before on Zoom.
Can I just say, I haven't said this to you yet.
Oh yeah.
I really have loved the music you put on there. So for content. Sorry,
context. I hate you.
We yesterday Kat sent me a playlist of some songs that she'd been listening to recently, new music that she'd found, and so she came up with this idea of us both having some music on there, talking about it, new music that we found that we really loved, and then after we've released this, I guess we can also share the playlist with you, and you can see what it is we've been listening to and have a listen yourself.
Yeah, I think it's a good way of promoting smaller artists. I mean, not all of them that I've put. Well, I mean, we've got Coldplay on there. But there are quite a few smaller people on there, so
definitely.
Good way.
And I really enjoy it. I listened to it yesterday. I was like, "This is good stuff. I love this."
So what were you liking in particular?
So, well, okay. So, I mean, it literally. If we start at the top with Tom Grennan.
Oh yeah. So that song literally came out. The first one on the list came out 2 days ago.
Oh my god, it's fresh content.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're at the front of this. Amazing.
Oh.
And I know you've been a fan of Tom Grennan for a while.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me about him a few years ago.
2016. Whoa.
And he I really liked his stuff back then, and it's he's one of those things people that come on the radio unexpectedly, and it's been oh
yeah,
hello, you've made it on here, amazing. But yeah, so the first one was A Little Bit of Love. And initially, I listened to the whole song. I thought, this is really good. And it, at the very end, it doesn't resolve.
Oh, did that annoy you?
And I was like, what? How dare you not resolve? You what? You? And I was weirdly annoyed by it because I get weirdly annoyed about tiny things that don't matter in life.
Lol. Who doesn't?
But then I listened to it again and I was like, You know what? I quite like that. That's pretty good.
For
That's pretty good.
for me, that's definitely like an album song opposed to like a single. It is an album song and it's not a single. Like just to clarify, but
Yeah, no, it definitely felt like an album. So it was one of those things that out of context, I was like, you, why? But also, like, I can see how it flows into the next one.
I really feel like it felt like his older material, which I liked, and I actually
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
the same with Flags by Coldplay. I felt like that was sort of um, reminiscent of their older stuff, which I again liked. You know.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was really good. And I like, as I feel like you'll know from listening to, say, uh, your fiance, Piers,
Oi oi.
is, hey, his band is called Toffees. Go check them out. Um,
I love that.
and he occasionally sends me their like demos and stuff to have a listen to and ask my opinion on, which I love. I love that someone trusts me enough to be like, here's a thing I've made. What do you think of it? I'm like, oh wow, this is so cool. Um, but I always listen to like I'll really take the time to listen to the lyrics and the actual music going on, and I like comment on the tiniest things that almost wouldn't matter to most people because that's just how my mind works. But
Cute.
there was a lyric in "Little Bit of Love" that I really liked. I'm just trying to double find. Yeah, so it was I've got voices in my head and there's a deafening silence. I've got
Yes.
voices in my head and I can't lie. And I was like, oh Tom, hello.
Yes.
We're vibing on this one. Like I relate to this.
No, that yeah, I thought exactly the same. When I heard those lyrics, I was like, oh damn, like it's nice.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's very. I think sometimes the best lyrics are ones that aren't that complex, but there's a lot there.
Yeah,
That like the meaning behind it is insane. And this is one of those things that like they're all quite simple work. Like there's nothing massively overly metaphorical. It's not like flowery language or anything like that, but it does mean a lot, and it's very relatable for me from my perspective. Like deafening silence. I can't even. That is the best way to explain what I feels like in my head sometimes.
yeah.
Um, so I was just like, "You've nailed it, Tom. Thank
Well,
you,
well done, Mr. Grennan.
thank you." I was like, I gave a little clap almost. I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. You've done it. You've nailed it."
Actually, the second song of Tom Grennan, I put two songs in there because he's doing a bit of a saucy thing, which I think I'm gonna cop for when we're releasing Pierce's stuff, which is he's dropping each song from the album like once a month or once every 2 months, and gradually building up until he eventually releases the whole album, which I like because
Nice,
you get to
nice.
know each song a little bit before the whole album's there. Because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when you drop an album, you find like three songs in there that you just listen to on repeat and you forget about the
Mhm,
others.
mhm.
So I really like that idea. But Something Better has been my favourite Tom Grennan song for like in the past year, definitely. And
Oh my God,
it's
the
such
like
a bop.
it had me like I was actually dancing. I listened to it again this morning. I was actually in my
I
room
love that.
dancing. I was like, I love this. This is so cool. I love this. Like the I just love the rhythm of it.
Yeah, no, it is like it's like a bit of everything.
It's a really good like there's bits in that he just like throws a bit in there. At some point um there's like a little brass bit, and I think it's only
Yes.
there for like 2 seconds, and I'm like, yes, that's the one. Absolutely. It just like sprinkles it in, and it's not over the top.
And for their
It's
bigger shows, they actually get like live brass in and stuff, and they always have like backing singers and stuff. But for the bigger shows, they've had strings and all sorts. I just oh
it honestly, I was there and I was like, this is good music. Like this is genuinely good music. I feel like there's a lot there. He's nailed it. Like
yeah. And he does a lot of the writing with his guitarist Danny Connors, who is like just very talented writer. He writes for a couple of artists that I like, and yeah, no, I like that because they've also got chemistry there and produce good songs. So
yeah. No, I'm definitely like I he'd kind of not gone to the back of my mind, but I hadn't really listened to him much recently.
Yeah.
But like this, when I heard this, I was like, yeah, we're gonna
go back.
we're gonna keep an eye on this. We're gonna see where this goes, because like if the album is along the same kind of lines, almost,
Yeah.
I want more.
I want
you know?
in. I'm
Yeah,
invested.
Exactly.
So one of your choices was Low Island Search Box, as in
Yes.
Low Island the artist and Search Box the song. And it gave me everything vibes.
It did. It
Yeah.
was one of the songs. So I have this thing with Spotify where, so you know, it sends you your Discover playlist every week.
Yeah, I love that. It's such a good
I have
feature.
it in this kind of wave, and that I'll have one week and it's full of absolute bangers. It's amazing. It's got everything I want. And the week after is absolute trash.
Yes.
This week was the good week, so sadly that means that tomorrow when my latest playlist comes through, it's going to be trash.
Lol.
But thanks Spotify, fix your algorithm. Thanks boys. But yes, it came in on Monday. I listened to it and I was like, oh yes, I want this, because it is very everything. It's got that kind of everything do this thing with like the rhythm of it, and the kind of, they play around a lot with the actual vocal line feeling like it's part of the rhythm section.
Yes.
And there's lots of like there's a real rhythmic element to it, and I really thought that with this one.
Yeah.
I also love the fact that this is, so I looked into a bit of the lyrics on it again, and I kind of looked at what they'd been saying about it, because initially I heard it and I was like, this just sounds like a list of questions that someone's asking, and it turns out that they literally, it's like taken from Google. So you know, if you just type in "how can I," and it comes up with the autocorrect of what other people have like asked and what's popular at that moment.
Oh, that's so
And
cool.
it almost was taken from that, and they put it together and worked out. And I was like, this makes a lot of sense. Because, yeah, and it basically all comes down to, it's all around the idea that we basically just ask Google it. Everything. These days.
I'm Googling the lyrics as we speak.
Yeah, exactly. And I ask any time I have a question about something, so I've been messing about a lot with refreshing my stream. I'm trying to like make it a bit nicer, and I've got animations going. Honestly, I've gone so over the top. I'll probably never stream again. You know, it's gonna be one of those things that I spent so much time on that I'll just abandon it forever. But the whole way through that, it was the tiniest question. It was like, oh, hey Google, how do I turn up my mic but also stop noise coming in, or something stupid like that, or how do I?
Did you just hey Google
Jesus
yourself?
Christ! I know. I've just done it. I've just done it to myself.
Well,
I'm such an idiot.
done.
Oh my god!
See,
But
I've
yeah,
got an Alexa, so in this room, we're both gonna set each other.
I can't believe I've done this. But yeah, no. Basically, everyone uses Google constantly and asks it stupid questions and complex questions and all that kind of thing. And I don't think anyone realizes how much we depend on it.
No, definitely not. That's so. I think I'm gonna listen to that song again after the podcast, because I think I'll have like a new level of appreciation.
Yeah, it was one of those things that I listened to. And I was like, oh I like this, and then I read that, came back to it, and was like, oh, you're being really clever. Okay, I can get behind this.
We see you.
I see this. I see where you're going. Yeah, but no, it was a very everything, and on that note, their most recent album was actually really good, so you should go check that out for sure.
I need to check it out. I don't think I've
very
listened
nice
to it.
Very nice. I won't go
Oh,
on
that just reminds me of our experience with everything.
How do you mean?
Well, your birthday that I tried to come down to surprise you, and then it took me 5.5 hours to get from Oxford to Birmingham, because it was snowing and all the trains were delayed, and like Oxford to Birmingham should be like no more than like a 2-hour door-to-door trip, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was an arse ache, and I was like going through the snow, ended up getting there, And Chris was like, oh, and the other thing was that I got tickets to go to see Everything with him. And then, yeah, and I got there and he goes, yeah, I'm not an idiot. I knew you were coming. I was like, oh, happy birthday, surprise.
Oh yeah, because that was the other thing. She hadn't told me that she was coming to this. I'd booked it because I was like, wow, I'm actually in a city where there's a music venue, because Milton Keynes, for all its many things, is crap with music
Oh,
venues
yeah.
and getting people to play here. So I went to uni in Birmingham, and they've got loads of venues obviously in Birmingham.
Birmingham's so good
Everything
for
came,
music.
and I was like, yes, this is it. This is what I need. So bought some tickets of it with one of my friends. Really good. And then I remember, um, I was in a seminar, and I got this text from you
Yeah.
saying,
I had
oh,
to
I can't
make
remember what it
sure you were
was.
still planning on going, because imagine if I got tickets and then you were like, oh yeah, I didn't get them.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but it was one of those things that I read it and went, she's coming to see me. And you hadn't said that. At any point had you said anything like that, but I just put two and two together, and I was like,
The difficulty was there was no way of really getting around it, but I thought because I asked you like months in advance that you would forget. I was wrong.
I hold on to these things. I occasionally, my brain holds on to it.
Well, I think the thing that annoyed me the most was I made it right, and everything were in Birmingham, but the venue
Yes.
wouldn't open because of ice outside the venue and health and safety reasons. They couldn't be responsible for people being an idiot and slipping over on the ice. Yeah, so they cancelled the gig. It was alright because I got to see Chris, but still, when you I've literally travelled through the
I
snow.
was so upset. I'm pretty sure that was actually the I think you and Matthew had come up for it, and I feel like that was the time I told you and Matthew about being diagnosed with depression and
Yeah,
all of this stuff, because I just I don't really like birthdays as a thing.
that was
I
fun.
don't. There's so much going on. I hate the attention. Everything. I can't. Birthdays are not for me. Most of all my own birthdays. Um, and so I obviously, everyone had come to see me. I was like, oh my god, I want it to be really good for them. I want it to be a really good time. And everything got cancelled, and things were shut, and ice and snow had ruined everything. And I just felt so absolutely shit. I think
Yeah.
I went into my room and I was just like, this is the
You
worst.
were like,
I can't believe this
guys.
has happened. And then yeah, we went into my room and I was like, guys, I need to tell you something.
I was crying and I was trying not to show you. I was crying and Matt's looking at me like, what's wrong with you? I was just like,
It was crazy. It was yeah, it was quite scary at the time. That's a story for another day.
yeah.
I've realized that I've just gone on a massive thing. But on a completely unrelated
Oh,
note,
Matt.
and
Y-
going back to this, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. That would have been a nice time.
I
But
wasn't, but you know what? Let's pretend that I was.
okay,
Yes. So our friend Matt has
Matt
recently
Lockwood.
started releasing music under the name The Woods and I, um which I quite like. I remember him trying to work out what name he should go for.
Yeah,
Um
that's quite
I
Matt.
think he had a different name at first, which I really liked, but no one else was with me on.
Oh, okay.
Um I can't remember what it was. I'll try and remember for next time. But yeah, so he's now actually making music and releasing it, which is really cool. I love that one of my friends has done this.
Yeah.
I say that like no one else. I mean, obviously you're
Rude.
like managing a band. Like obviously, my friends are. I just want to say this now. My friends are more successful than your friends. So bad
Lol.
luck, everyone. My friends are better. Um, but no, I love that he's actually now feeling like he can release this stuff.
Yeah, definitely having the confidence to do that because it does take a lot to release your music. It's very much like wearing your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah,
And with Matt's music, it's sort of easy listening and it's sort of like a chill vibe. I love like the fact he's got background noise in it because you
yeah,
feel, especially with lockdown and stuff, everything where I am is very quiet because I'm in the countryside. So it's quite nice to have that like buzz of as if it was live music.
yeah, exactly. And I just like the um chill element to it.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that I had on. It made me feel calmer. I could definitely feel like, I think the first time I listened to it, I'd had a really stressful day. I think something had gone on. I'd really was stressed out. I was really frustrated. I listened to it and I just kind of felt like calm. It was like a blanket, like a warm blanket over me. And I was like, this is nice. I like this. But I mean, you should definitely go check him out.
Yeah, so it's on Bandcamp, is that right? Bandcamp?
Yes, he's on Bandcamp. I think he might be on SoundCloud as well, like an edgy boy.
I think the thing is with Spotify, you have to pay to
Yeah.
get on Spotify, which is why. Oh, so this podcast. Moving on, because
Smooth.
we're not famous yet. Uh,
Not yet. One day.
and we're poor. We'll be posting this on YouTube as well. I mean, you'll know that if you're listening to this right now. And eventually we might move on to Spotify, but for now.
One day. Spotify, if you're listening, I want a good deal, so don't fuck me over like you fuck over everyone else.
Lol.
I want a decent cut of that dollar that I keep sending you. And, you know, I'll see you in a few months at the meeting.
Wow. That was that was business.
See, if that
right
ever
there.
works for us, if that works, can you imagine how happy I'd be?
I'll be employing
I'd be like,
you.
This is it.
I will be employing you to do my job for me if you can make
My
deals that
God.
easily.
That'd be so good. But yeah, no, definitely go check out Matt, The Woods and I, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, somewhere internet related. Really good stuff. Please listen to him and support him. And going back to the playlist,
Oh yeah. Okay.
I really like Jordan McCamber.
Yes. He is my favorite. Like I could talk about him for days. His songwriting is impeccable.
He
love
makes
that
me
man.
angry because
He's
he's
perfect.
so good. I listen to it and I'm like, I despise you because you're very good at what you do. Like he sits there with his guitar. I honestly, the skill that he has is incredible.
Yes.
I remember the first song I heard of his was Battle Crow. It was
Yes.
a few years ago. I think it was on a TV show. I can't remember what it was. But no, I loved that one, and this was very much the same kind of lines. I was like, you are a dick because you're showing me up, Jordan. You're making me look shit because I'm not doing anything with any of my skills, and you can make such beautiful music.
He's the type of guy where you could be like in the middle of nowhere, there'd be like a volcano going off, like massive storm, everything's going wrong outside. Shut the door, and he just plays his guitar and has a little sing along, and everything's
Yes.
perfect.
And I feel like he's the kind of like he's almost the guy you'd want if you're just sat there with your friends and he's got his guitar and he'll just I feel like he'd start just messing around with something. And you just start getting into it. You'd want to join in, you'd want to grab your own instrument and like make something. It just I honestly
And he
I feel like I'm
seems
in
like
love with him.
such a nice person as well. So he's actually, the reason I know who he is because he's a friend of a friend. So
Whoa, well I didn't know this.
oh, did you
This is
not?
news to me. No.
So yeah, no, I discovered him a few years ago, because my friend Mario, who's a songwriter, he goes under the name Lucky. He
Shout out.
yeah, he used to hang out with Jordan McCamp quite a lot, and they're good friends. And I don't know, so like the Barnes lot, that group. I think he might be in with them. But anyway, no, he's a lovely guy, and he actually sent me a voice message in December because I posted a screenshot of my Spotify like most listened to, and he was like number 3 or something.
Can you tell him that I really love his music?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Obviously, he has no idea who I am and will never know me. But I just want that known. I have a connection here.
Lol, I'll just be like, my brother loves you.
Absolutely.
No, so yeah, no, he messaged me saying thank you so much. Like, so it was, oh no, maybe it was 4th. I can't remember, but it was like toffees were top. And then it was like
Obviously.
Catfish and the Bottomman, and then like Amy Winehouse, and then Jordan Camp, and he was literally like, "I'll take that. I'll accept." Like,
That's a good spot to, like, to be among those people. You feel
yeah.
pretty good.
I love in the message he goes, "I'll accept being below like Amy Winehouse and Catfish and the Bottomman." Obviously didn't mention Toffees. He's probably thinking who the fuck are they? But no, I was really didn't expect him to send me a message, and I just think that shows because he's got like he's quite big, which I guess I kind of didn't realize. He's got like 29 million streams on Yours to Keep, which is a banger.
Yeah, I just went and clicked on his Spotify thing, and I was like, oh, okay, you're doing quite well.
Actually, sorry, just jumping, mentioning Barnes. I mean, he doesn't need any promoting, but he hit 100 million streams on Spotify on one of his songs the other day.
Damn, sir.
You know, and you're
Many
like,
congrats.
I know that guy. He's my mate. How?
Oh, I mean, that's absolutely what I'm hoping for in. I've
Oh,
got
another
a couple of horses
Sky.
in this race.
Yeah.
Oh no, well, I mean, okay, so I've got 3 people that I need to succeed because it will benefit me in that I'll have been there.
Okay.
And it's you and Toffees.
Okay.
Because I can use that to my advantage.
We will literally employ you if we.
You see.
Exactly.
You see
And this is like a verbal contract. I don't know if these work in England or if that's just an American thing, but like if we get signed or whatever, or do like well enough to be able to employ you for a fair price, then you're ours.
You see this. I'm gonna pay off my debts, people.
Oi, oi.
And then obviously Matthew.
Yes.
He's another one. If he succeeds, I was there. I helped that boy, and I will be calling in the favors. So just want that noted down.
He owes you.
And thirdly, another Sky.
Oh
Who I
yeah.
don't know personally.
I swear you've met
but-
them.
No.
Oh.
No, and this is the really annoying thing.
Do you
I haven't had
message?
the opportunity because for various reasons, I've been screwed over. So they came to play in Birmingham, a really small venue. I definitely would have had the chance to meet them. I had to work. Those guys were the worst.
Was that your
I had
tutoring job?
the tickets. Yes.
Ah.
Yes. Very much so. They came to play in. Oh no, I had a ticket to go and see them back in April, maybe, or May. There's a small global pandemic going on, so that's been pushed back, so that's gone. But I like to think that I basically stumbled upon them quite early, and
You did. You definitely did.
I love their stuff, so I'm just there. Like, anytime there's a tweet coming out from them, I'm like, hey, you're amazing, I love you, please love me back. And I like the fact that if they ever, take over the world, I'll be able to say that I was there at the beginning.
Well, and they're picking up as well. I mean, they've got like over 1 million on a couple of their songs, but they were like a year ago. I remember you talking about them. Maybe even longer. I don't know, but they definitely didn't have those sort of numbers back then.
No, and they have done. What I love about them is that they're very much like or similar to Tom Grennan. So Tom Grennan is doing this, like you said, he's doing this thing where he's releasing music over time and building up this album and doing really well. Another Sky have basically constantly released some form of music since 2018.
Wow.
Every few months they put out another song or an EP or something. It's like, this is fucking incredible. And I absolutely love their music. I haven't put it on this playlist, but the song Avalanche is literally so good. They have a lot of their lyrics are kind of based around female empowerment and being angry at the way the world is and wanting to change it. And I was like, I love them so much.
They sort of give me Fleetwood Mac meets London Grammar.
I see that. And I remember, actually, I know the way I discovered them. It's because one of the long-term producers with Coldplay produced one of their songs, and so he shared it on Twitter.
Wow.
I'm like, I've just produced one of these guys' songs. Go listen to it. And I'm such a Coldplay fanboy that I was like, yeah, sure, I'll listen to this Coldplay thing, absolutely. And I'm so glad I did because they are incredible, and they've just released another EP. spoil it, like 1st of January this year, they were like, "Yeah, guys, here's another EP." I'm like, "You have to stop this. Like, take a break."
Are they signed? They must be signed with those numbers.
I think they are signed. I think they have got some form of label. They're really, like, honestly, they're I would definitely, I can see them growing for sure, because I think their music is really good. Their lead singer is so a lot of people think that she sounds like a man. She has that kind of voice that is very, you almost can't put it either way. It sits somewhere between
Yeah.
a man's voice and a woman's voice when she sings, which I really love. Um, Her lyrics are out of this world. Can I just say this now? I am in love with Another Sky. If Another Sky are listening to this, please hit me up. I just want to tell you that I love you too.
You can be in
You
a
are beautiful.
not a throuple. What would be what would be five? A quipple.
I'm happy to enter a polyamorous relationship with you all. If you're down for that, I'm down for that. So there we go. I'm in. But oh my god, what have I said? I've said so many things in this podcast, and it's like, why have you said this?
We've got the power to edit, but I feel like
no, you gotta leave this in.
Yeah.
This is me. Like, I wish I could say this is me putting on some kind of act. This is just me. This is what my friends have to deal with
I would
on a regular
argue
basis.
this is like you like not dulled down, but like censored as well.
It definitely is censored. The things I haven't said that in my mind, I was like, not here.
Yeah.
Not here.
I was gonna say something that you would say, but then I realised that would defeat the object of you like being
Of
censored.
me censoring.
Yeah.
Tell me afterwards.
Yeah.
Tell me
Yeah, I
afterwards.
will. That'll.
Yeah, I mean, look, I could keep, basically just go check out their music. It's on the playlist. Go listen to their other music. Check out their lyrics 100%, because you'll see what I mean. 10 out of 10.
I completely agree. And hopefully they'll be one of the first people that we can go and see live when this shite is over. I
damn well hope so.
I don't think festival season's gonna go ahead this.
No, I saw your post on your Instagram. Or
Yeah.
on your story even about it, and I was like, I would love festival season to go ahead. I don't see how it can.
I don't think I just think so. They're meant to be vaccinating by the end of February all of the over 70s, aren't they?
Yeah, they said something like that. I mean,
And the thing is, like, okay, so say that's a small percentage of the population, like, and the fact they haven't even managed to do that yet. And I'm not saying like it's anyone's fault. I'm just saying if we haven't managed to get those people covered, there's no way we're gonna get the rest of the population done ready by May.
yeah, no.
It's not
No way.
happening. So
I think almost I've accepted that it's probably going to be 2022 that we get festival seasons coming back. Like, I feel like gigs and things will start up again throughout this year as kind of things
and
move on and change.
the depressing thing for me is that the last 2 years I've applied for hundreds, possibly even coming up to like 1,000 festivals, and obviously none of them are probably going to be able to go ahead.
I like the fact that you've chosen to get into the arts at a time when the arts is slow. It's like it's on life support at the moment.
Literally.
For a whole variety of reasons. Yeah.
I had anxiety the whole way through third year about getting a job that I actually want. And now did a master's, so I had another year, and we still, Piers literally, again, sorry bringing them up again, but we were on
Great guy.
on Wednesday. We had the Asda shop, we get our food delivered, and we have a whole, this is gonna like out me for being like a COVID freak, but we wiped down all of the Asda delivery with anti-bac, and yeah.
Okay, well now I'm going to be a COVID freak because I thought that sounded like a relatively sensible thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it since the start. But anyway, so we were doing that, and then Piers goes, Kat, how long does it take to do a PhD? Have you thought about doing one since this mess is like still going on? And I just went, Piers, I can't. It was a stretch doing a master's because of a pandemic. Like, PhD might be a bit excessive.
I love the idea that you do a doctorate purely because everything was still fucked. So you come out, and at the end of it, you're, Dr. Katrina Preston, and
Because of
the
COVID.
only reason, the only motivation for it, when people ask you why you did it, was I was anxious that I wouldn't get a job because of the global pandemic.
Uh, I mean, if it didn't take like 3 years to do a PhD, and if it was only like another year, I'd consider it, because it's not going to be done. Like, we've written out another year here. Like, let's be real. I can live with that as long as 2022 is okay. The other thing is I've got to get married at some point as well.
Oh yeah, I mean that's I love the fact that that's like a long-term thing here.
Yeah, I mean, well, we wouldn't have wanted to get married like too soon anyway, because we need money to do it. But no, like I think there's gonna be, the only good thing is we're not planning on using a venue, so a lot of people at the moment just keep pushing and pushing their weddings back because they want to do it properly, which I get.
Yeah, but obviously you don't know when that's going to be, so it's
Yeah.
endlessly pushing it back. I know some people, like I heard somewhere that venues for weddings are booked up until the middle of 2022 or something.
Oh my.
Lots of them, because of the extent people are pushing them back and pushing them back, and it's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
imagine trying to get in on that. That's a nightmare. But
That would be mental.
yeah.
Um,
Also, fun fact: if your best friend calls you up out of the blue, try not to be busy. Try not to be an idiot and not looking at your
I
phone.
see where you're going
Because
now.
what you might find out is that she's got engaged and she was trying to tell you about it so you could be the first to hear about it.
Yeah, well,
Fun
well
fact for you
done.
there.
Well done, Chris.
I honestly, I
And then you were the last to find out because you didn't check
was
your
the
phone.
absolute last to find. I'm literally.
And you were online as well.
I'm catastrophically bad at checking my phone. Look, okay, let's take this moment here, okay? I'm looking at my phone. I've got a text. I've got 2 messages there from Discord. I've got 5 WhatsApp messages, 2 messages on Messenger, 3 Snapchats, and I haven't opened any of them.
You're just like, no, thank you.
I have this tipping point in my mind where, like, there are so many messages there, and I don't want to reply to them all in that moment. Like, there are some people. Watch as everyone now tries to work out which group they're in. There are some people who, like, I want to have a conversation, but they'll also be, everyone has it. They have, like, a message on Messenger, and it's like, oh, I don't really want to talk to that person right now.
Yeah.
So I almost don't want it, because if I click on Messenger and something fucks up, then I open the message. Now I've read the message from this person I don't want to talk to, and I can't just leave that. I now have to engage with it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk to you right now. And it's a nightmare. So I end up just not looking at my phone, and when I do look at it, thinking, oh, there's so many messages, too much time.
For me, that's my family. I see their messages and they're always asking me something, and it's not necessarily something like big or something I have to think about too much, but I just go, oh, they're asking me information. Nope.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Someone asks me to do something, immediately I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Even if it's something I'd really enjoy. It's like the tiniest thing that would take you 2 seconds. I'm like, you can keep that.
To put it,
you do that. I don't want that right
to
now.
put it into
So I'd like
perspective, when did we agree on doing this podcast?
Months ago.
I think it was the first.
Months ago.
It might have been the first lockdown.
Yeah, probably.
That
It
just
probably
shows
was.
that
And
both of us are like this.
The thing is, we're like, when we're both on the same page and actually messaging, then we realize that our lives are not I was gonna say not in sync. I feel like that's a good way of saying it, almost. Like, they don't really. God, my brain died. It's gone. It's absolutely gone.
Well, like
we're just so busy.
Yeah.
Like, we're busy with different things at the wrong times. So it'd be like we're constantly just not quite lining up with.
Well, the issue
when we're free
I
and-
have is that, like, a lot of my work, well, when it's not a global pandemic, is at the weekend. And then you do a Monday to Friday
I
job.
do Monday, Friday, yeah.
So it's that just sort of, like, screws it from the start. Also,
Yeah.
if you got, like, neighbours shouting or something, because I could hear shouting a minute ago.
Oh, probably. They're absolute dickheads. It's very possible.
We love Milton
The bad
Keynes.
thing about this mic, I brought a new mic.
Yeah.
Because I also, inexplicably, during this lockdown, or second lockdown maybe, I decided I was going to start streaming on Twitch. I don't know why,
Love it.
because I'm horribly anxious, and every time I start doing it, I think this is the one that will kill me. I oh my god, I love it, but I hate it. And
They're
just
brilliant.
after Christmas, I love doing it,
Wait, give
but
your
I'm always there.
username. Give your username before you.
Oh yes, crispy2117. So that's CHRISPY2117. There we go. Beautiful. Come follow me, Twitch TV. Um, yeah, I really love it. But I just after Christmas, I thought, oh, I'm gonna buy myself a new mic because why not?
Yeah.
So I bought this ridiculously good mic, and I love it, but it picks up so much. Like it's so sensitive, it will pick up anything. And I've got like a noise gate on it now to try and like reduce that, and I've like messed up with the gain settings and the window settings, and even when you've got it perfect, if someone is just too noisy, they're gonna get on this. So if at some point you've heard my neighbour shouting, I'm sorry, this is what I live with 24/7.
No, I mean it makes sense. Well, I mean it's better than having a crap mic and then hearing everything is the best. I just my brain, why is my brain not working? I think the whole
Our
time
brains never work.
the whole time you were talking, all I could think about was the mic I'm using is Pierce's old vocal mic because he's just replaced it with like a mic that's meant to be worth like £1,000. He didn't pay £1,000 for it, but it's like meant to be very spenny. So this is like the downgrade from that one. So I'm now thinking it's raining outside. Am I gonna have
Oh,
to?
I can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
I didn't. I. This is the first I've heard that it's raining.
Oh, good. Because I was just thinking, imagine if like I have to try and work out how to edit out rain the whole way through it.
No, no. Yours sounds really nice. And to be fair, it's like when we were starting and you were doing the kind of sound check, you can tell that it's one of those mics that is kind of I want to say intelligent almost.
I
Like
hope so.
I don't know. It sounds great.
I'm not like a techie person. I just, Pierce said, here's a mic, and I took it, and then I went, hang on,
No, it's okay.
hang on a minute.
Perfect.
Hang on a minute. Should I be careful with this mic? And he goes, yeah, probably.
Why? This is me and you with everything.
Yeah.
Anything that goes on, it's just like, should I be careful with this? Probably. Oh, all right. Guess I better take care of this one.
Yeah, I've got to make sure it goes back in its box all properly. But the issue is it's like screwed in, and like I've got the XLR, and I just me being a low maintenance bitch, like. Yeah.
There we go.
Because I kind of want to get through. I think there's only one more person. Sorry, I just like moved away from the mic. I think there's only one more person. No, two more people on the list.
Mm.
And I know that you listened to Abigail, Virginia, because it says you listened to her 2 hours ago on Spotify.
Damn you, Spotify! You've sold me out again.
That is like my favourite feature, I think, of Spotify.
I do it to everyone all the time. I'm there. What? The second someone listens to something, I'm like, so I see you're listening to.
Yeah, you messaged me.
I love it. For example, right this second, I'm like, so Katrina Preston, you listened to Flags by Coldplay an hour ago.
Oh wow.
I like it.
See, you're at the top of my list. It goes you, Barnes, and then like random people that I'm like.
I'll take that position on the list.
Yeah, you're top. It just shows that I stalk you the most. Sometimes I'm lazy.
Happy to be stalked.
Sometimes I'm just like, I can't be bothered to make a playlist. I'm sure Chris has made one that's got the gist.
I have seen you randomly listening to my playlist. I'm like, what? Why are you listening to that? I mean, I love it, but
yeah,
bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Abigail Virginia. Oh, I loved it.
So
I really liked it.
I found her on TikTok, and the reason why
Oh.
I like noted her was because she's got a tenor range. You can't really tell on that song, but that girl has got a low voice. Like
Really?
yeah, and she just seemed like a really like fun, like bubbly girl, and she's very pretty as well. And I think if you've got a good voice that is like very unique, and you're pretty, like you're gonna you're gonna like do well. She'll get signed at some point. I mean, I think she's got 250,000 followers on TikTok now. She's only got 5,000 streams on Spotify.
That'll change.
But
She just needs one of her songs to become a big TikTok song.
Yeah, literally. I mean, I said to her that I might write something for her, and she was like keen for that. So maybe there might be
You heard it here first.
there might be a collab at some point, but
I'm ready for this.
that'll be good. See, that's the thing. I love the idea of writing for other people. Hate the idea of like releasing my own stuff.
Oh yeah, no.
It's just like too stressful.
I have so many things I've like recorded things off on my computer, and it's like no one will ever listen to this. Not even me. I won't listen to this.
When you did the hypersonic missile, was it hypersonic missiles you did?
No, it was That Sound by Sam Fender.
Oh yes, yeah. So it was that was really good. I was very impressed with you.
I loved doing that. I've recorded the vocals for it a few times, and every time I've done it, I've gone, you can't sing.
Me.
But one day.
We'll get there. We'll start a shit band together. You've heard it.
Yeah.
We'll get Matt drumming and be like, oh god, it'll be like
the
old days.
Beautiful old days.
But now I actually can play band instruments instead of just a violin.
I still can't. I just sit there with my guitar and make noise.
That's a lie. You're probably better than me at guitar and.
Oh, come on, no.
Lol.
I just laugh and pretend everything's fine.
Yeah.
Internally panic.
It's so difficult me living with Piers because he is so good at just picking up instruments, and he's got such good rhythm and feel, which is something you can't really teach.
No.
Whereas I've got rhythm from like practicing. I've not got like it built into me like he has, so I hate it. The thing is, he's the type of guy that if I gave him a few lessons on violin, he'd probably overtake me within the year.
God damn it.
Hate that man.
Screw you, Piers. Can you stop being good?
Yeah.
Just be more shit. Stop showing us up.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Also, I love you. Hi. No, I feel like oh my, I hate that I'm about to say it.
Oh.
But she's one to watch. Is my line here. I feel like she's gonna do very well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, I agree.
I'm gonna like wait for more.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last song on the list. I mean, it's not the last song on the list because it's like
in the
fifth
middle
on the list. The last song that we have is Another Lover by Toucan, which you sent to me.
Oh yeah, a few months ago. And I think you before, yeah, as you said it, you were like, I think you'd like this. Yeah.
And I was like, this is like, she knows what I like. Like my friends know what music I like somehow, and they just send it to me. I'm like, wow, send me more of this. And it's like I'm like a heroin addict, but for music.
And yet you're a train timetabler.
and yet I plan trains. My God, how the world has gone.
A music lover with a PPE degree and timetable.
Does it make sense? Fuck no. But there we are. Yes, no. This song it's a banger.
Again, it kind of gives me everything vibes.
Yeah. Okay, I see that.
And not like it's more. Is it Jacob Collier who I'm thinking of as well? The start of it. No, it's a bop. I'm gonna go with it's a bop.
Yeah, it definitely. Again, it's one of those ones that I listened to it and I was like, the first time I was like tapping my foot and I was like, I like this. I can vibe to this. And then I listened to it again whilst I think I was going to make a cup of tea or something like that. And I while I was waiting for the kettle to boil, I was like dancing and like having a good time. But this is how my life goes. I make tea and dance while the kettle's boiling. It's incredibly boring, I know. But yeah, I vibe with this.
The other band I just remembered, Disco Punk. That it's a bit like that as well.
Yeah, okay, I see that.
And Disco Punk, again, another band we're just gonna shout out. They're relatively big, but
we're just shouting at everyone.
Yeah,
that's great.
Just like DM me for like some free promotion.
Slide into the DMs, but not with anything inappropriate, please.
Lol. Honestly though, if anyone is listening at this point, then they should.
If you are, I'm sorry.
Yeah, compensation money will be handed to you in Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Anyway, if you guys have any songs, preferably from smaller artists, but bigger artists are welcome too, DM us, and if we like it, we will share it.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think that works well. And
I think that works very well.
I was thinking maybe we should, so we don't have too much editing to do, maybe wrap up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, I was just thinking it's like an hour and a half. And I was thinking we could go on for hours here.
Easily.
But like
this is just us chatting shit.
It literally chatting shit. I feel like somebody will have that as a podcast name already. Otherwise,
yeah,
that would be it. Oh wait, we should probably conclude with what we should go with for the podcast name. So run me through your ideas again.
No, they were the reject list.
Oh,
That's not
okay.
the list. That's not the. I mean, okay, look. Here's what I think. At the moment, this is a blank. There's a blank box. Okay, and if you're listening to this and you've made it all the way through, then you either dislike yourself very much or you quite like listening to us chat shit. And either way, I would love you to send us your suggestion for a name.
Yes.
And with any luck, we'll get a couple.
We're just lazy.
We're lazy.
Basically,
I am a lazy shit.
We're like,
yeah.
Send us your opinions. Send us your music suggestions and give us a name for the podcast. And
yeah, you give us the content and we'll turn it into something beautiful.
Yes. And on that note, oh wait, on that bombshell.
On that bombshell.
Is that copyright?
Nah, we can take it. It's fine. They won't get us.
On that bombshell. Good morning. Good night. Good day.
What? Bye.
Bye.
Just goodbye. Leave. Thank you.